Hello and welcome to this week's episode of You Can Sit With Us. I'm Matt, sitting here with Becky.
Hello.
We also have Rainie on the ones and twos.
Hello.
And we just want to check in, see how everyone's doing.
How you doing?
How are you doing, Becky?
Well, Matt,
What's
what's your rosebud thorn this week? Give us the goods. What you working on?
So my thorn was a big thorn this week, okay?
Don't talk about Eugene that way.
Hi, you're so funny. Hi, you're so funny. I got in a car accident. It wasn't even my fault. That's what everyone says. But it actually wasn't my fault, okay? I hadn't been in a car accident in over a decade. Like it's been that long.
Whoa.
More, probably 15 years.
Yeah.
Like a long, long time since I had any car incidents besides like a parking ticket.
What happened?
So I went up to the mountains to see the beautiful winter snow.
Mm-hmm.
And there ended up being a winter storm. And a winter storm usually means bad roads. You know, icy, snowy roads. And
This is riveting.
was very prepared, Rebecca. I was very prepared. I had my chains for my tires on. Everything was set up. I was being a good citizen, you know?
Okay.
And so I was driving home actually to go down the mountain. Visibility was really bad. The plows like hadn't come through yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the right of way going down the highway, but going like 10 miles an hour because it's so icy. And this lady goes to stop at a stop sign and it was like going up a hill. And you could tell that she had stopped too late. And she slammed on her brake and just went and skidded all the way out in front of traffic, in front of like two lanes and like couldn't stop.
And she
so,
got
like,
you in the booty or she got you on the side?
She got me on the side.
You got T-boned.
It was like a front T-bone. She got like my front right bumper.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like kind of comical because it was slow motion. Because we were going so
yeah.
slow and you're like on ice, just like ice skates coming together.
And you just like can't stop.
And you like
You're
can't move, you can't stop, you can't, at that point, you can't do anything. So
Yeah.
she just hit my car.
Were you
in the
mad when you
parking
got
lot.
out, or were you like,
I
okay?
was actually really mad because when I looked back at her car, I could tell that she did not have snow tires. She didn't have like, you know, she didn't have chains on. She wasn't prepared to be there.
Yeah.
So then I was not in the best headspace when I went to go like talk to her, but I was still being nice. But then she said she was a hospice nurse coming up to treat one of her patients. So then it's like, how can you be mad at someone? You know?
Yeah.
Then it's like, you can't.
So you paid her?
Yeah.
She
No,
said it was your
Rebecca.
fault.
She even was like, it was my fault. Like I take all the blame. And I was like, well, tell your insurance company that. Has to pay to fix my car. Thank you. Thank you. So that was my thorn of the week, Becky. It was not fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Car accident.
Look, mine's pretty similar. So we have this toilet paper roll holder that keeps getting
Did it hit your
tilted.
car? Did it hit your car?
Like my emotional car, if my soul was a car, yeah. Because every time I go in this bathroom, I see this freaking toilet paper roll holder. And it's always angled. And it
Wow.
drives me bananas. And you have to use one of those little, what's the thing that you get at IKEA? The thing. You
You're
twist
just twisting
the
your
tool.
fingers.
The tool.
The Allen wrench.
Yes, an Allen wrench. You have to use an Allen wrench and like a teeny tiny Allen wrench
Yeah, this is true.
to do it.
Yeah.
And it's clearly been worn down. I have the same toilet paper roll holder in both bathrooms. In the first bathroom I went into, I was
Using
like,
too much toilet paper.
I was like, well, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what Keith's doing in there, ripping it apart, like elbowing it. I don't know, but it keeps getting tilted.
Oh, no.
So I went in and fixed the first one because I am a woman in STEM. Like I was like,
STEM.
I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wrap this with some museum putty. I'm going to stick the thing on. It's going to stay. It was perfect. I went to the one in our bathroom, fell off. I tried to put it back on. Nothing would work. So I had to order a new toilet paper roll holder.
So now you're just not using toilet paper in the interim?
Yeah, we've actually gone au naturel.
Yeah.
We love this hose that we have out in the back. Nature's bidet is what we call it.
You're going to clean yourself in the backyard. Great.
Yeah.
So all the neighbors can see you.
Yeah, just like pesto. We like wipe our butts on the grass and it's really fun. No, but that is my thorn, is that I had to order this new. I don't like ordering things that like you have to have. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay,
You mean,
no,
like,
you don't have
luxuries?
to have a toilet paper roll holder. I get it. I didn't have one for a long time at my old apartment.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But this one, I'm like, man, it's the second time I've replaced it.
Yeah.
And I was a dum-dum. And the first time I replaced it, I bought the same exact one and just thought it was like manufacturer error. No, it's a bad piece of toilet paper roll holder. So I'd order a new one that has, ours is a 1 prong, so it sticks out. And that's how it's getting bent. So I'd order a 2 prong.
Yeah.
And I have to be a woman in STEM again because I have to attach it when it comes.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't like being a woman in STEM.
You're doing great.
I think it's you're a woman in STEAM.
Yeah. Woman in STEAM. It's hard. It's so hard.
Yeah. It is kind of like the like a parking ticket where it's just like I'm not going to get anything for this money I'm spending.
Yeah.
Other than not being arrested.
Yeah. Other than not being
You're going to be arrested for not having a beautiful toilet paper holder.
Do you know at one time on my old car, the car that I got when I was like 17, I was watching Handmaid's Tale with one of my friends and I got towed like in front of my own house, like not house, my apartment.
I've never been towed.
Matt, they make a little like thing of your car.
What do you mean
like
thing?
Like a paper. They give you a piece of paper when you go to pick it up.
Yeah.
And it has all the damage that your car already had on it. Like they mark everything.
No.
Mine was like pages. It was like there's a scratch here, there's a dent here, the mirror's falling off, the this, the that, the XYZ. And I was like, I felt personally victimized because I was watching Handmaid's Tale. I'm like, I'm taking a looking glass into the future of being a woman and you're going to take my car away?
Yeah.
And then you have to go get it, and it's like in a scary impound lot. We were watching John Oliver the other day, and someone wrote in and said that they had been asked for a tip at the impound lot.
No.
And so it reminded me of like, could you imagine having to tip the person that like put a ticket on your car?
That you're already pissed off at.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm like, for what? For stealing my car? For legally stealing my car? Do you know how confused I was when I went outside?
Yeah.
I was like, where's my car?
Whoa.
Yeah. So honestly, like life is hard. Life is difficult. My toilet paper roll holder drama.
Wow.
You were in a high-speed chase.
Have you ever been in a car accident?
Yeah. Keith and I actually, when we were,
Keith.
it was Keith. Keith was driving.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, we were in the old red Bug and we were in.
Did Keith have a bug?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fun.
My dad, as one of his like retirement things, was like
fun.
fixing up, like his hyperfixation at the time was fixing up an old Bug. And Keith didn't have a car in LA for the first year that he lived here.
Yeah.
And he lived, so his first apartment was in Los Feliz, like down the street from our apartment where that we moved into later. But old BuzzFeed was like in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
So he's taking the bus?
He was taking the bus, and it was taking him like 2 hours to get to and from work. And
I
he would go like when they had to do shoots and stuff, he'd have to leave so early to hop on that bus. So he did like a year of the bus life. And then when I was moving here, my dad was like, well, I fixed up the Bug. I don't know if it's going to make it across the country, but if you guys want to drive it across the country,
If you want to try.
you can have it. Yeah, because he was like, he had fixed up this old Bug. But the thing about Bugs is they're almost like a toy car. Like, so what happened was
A bumper
we
car.
were driving and the person in front of us clearly like didn't pay attention to the people that were stopping in front of them.
Yes.
So they stopped very quickly.
Yeah.
So then we stopped very quickly. And then the person behind us rear-ended us.
Yeah.
But
Domino effect.
like the front bumper and the headlights just popped out. They just
What?
went boop.
Oh my
And so
God.
Keith just popped them back in.
Some super glue.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it? That's all that happened?
That was it. Yeah,
Oh
I wasn't
my
in like a
God.
bad. I've never been in a bad car accident. Have you been in a bad car accident?
The one I was in before this one, many years ago, I was on the way to work early. This is when I was in college.
Mhm.
And I worked at a preschool reading, helping kids read. I'm a nice person, Becky. Becky's staring at me in disbelief.
No, I was trying to think of a joke in my head.
Helping kids read good, Becky.
You help them read real good.
And I was on the way in the morning and on the highway. And the same thing happened to me that happened to you. The person in front of me was not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
They stopped. And when you're on the highway going fast, you're going like 60 something miles an hour. And they stopped suddenly. So suddenly. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to stop behind them after I saw that they had stopped. So I checked my mirror very quickly and I saw that no one was coming up on my left.
Mm-hmm.
So I swerved left, but then I was going to go off the road into like the ditch median between the two ways of the highway. So then I had to do a hard right to stay on the highway. My car like twisted around 4 times, like 3 or 4 times, and I'm in it, twisting around 4 times.
I hope you're still in it. I hope you're wearing a seatbelt.
And then there was like a patrol, not a patrol vehicle, but like a highway repair vehicle or something, like a big truck. It was on the side of the road, and my car literally just went right up against next to it. And that guy was in his car too. And so it was like, that's what stopped me from keep on twisting and going or flipping or anything like that. So at least that was good that no one was hurt.
Yeah.
Or anything. And the patrol vehicle car, like, literally didn't even have a scratch. It was like nothing had happened to it. The whole side of my car almost gone. Like, it was totaled.
That's crazy. Were you hurt?
No, I wasn't hurt. I mean, I got some like whiplash. In my back.
Got some backlash.
But in my back, you know, like it hurt my back, not like my neck.
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah.
It's called backlash, Becky.
That's some Black Tree Cup. Well, what's when you open the door and the fire goes out? There was a movie about it. Backdraft. Backdraft,
oh,
right?
Backdraft. Same thing. So, but my dad was like, well, you had an accident, so you shouldn't get a new car. We just should fix this car. So he found someone that got spare parts to fix the car. And I had a maroon Dodge Stratus. So he found different colored doors to put on. So I had champagne colored doors with my maroon colored car after that.
A fashion icon.
And I had it for like probably 5 more years, driving a 2-toned vehicle.
Look, you're ahead of the curve. I see all those wrap jobs on cars now.
Yes.
You were ahead of it.
Exactly.
That's so funny.
It was bad.
Yeah, I don't recommend. Don't recommend getting it.
And it wasn't even my fault. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
And the highway like worker was like, yeah, it was not your fault. I saw it all happen. He's like, it was the person in front of you. He's like, I tried to get their license plate number, but I couldn't see it.
Oh.
I know.
And I think technically, isn't it whoever hits last, it's their fault?
Yeah, because
you know what I mean?
Yeah. They hit. Yeah, whenever you rear end someone, it's always that person's fault.
Yeah. That's
feels like not a good rule.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No.
That was, though, I feel like that's really the only car accident I got in.
Yeah, I've been in like little I've been in that, like little ding dings. Oh my God. Yeah. You know what happened once? This was a crazy saga for Keith. Is we were in my car and we were on Los Feliz Boulevard, which is a big, like pretty busy street.
Mm-hmm. And we were,
busy. Yeah, really we were busy, pulling out because we park on the street. That's where one of our cars always lived. And this guy, basically, like Keith had his turn signal on. The guy was in the further lane and decided to change lanes as Keith was pulling out. So we doinked the front of our car. But turns out this man was visiting from England. It was a rental car. So Keith had to deal with like Hertz International insurance. And they so the front of my car was like pretty banged up. Just the corner was broken. And like, it was a pretty ugly car to begin with. So we weren't like, it wasn't the worst. Nothing was like structurally or like inside the car broken. But Keith had to deal with the insurance companies for like months after that to try and get them to just pay for like the $200 repair that it needed. And they were like, well, you have to call this man. And it's like a UK number.
Oh, no.
And we're like, I don't know the time difference. And this guy he did the same thing. He was like, that was totally my fault. Like, he was also an international driver. He's like, I've been driving a car that long. And I was like, okay.
It's true. A lot of places people don't drive. You know what I mean? Like, we grew up driving. You like learn how to drive when you're like 16.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of places people still don't know how to drive.
Yeah.
Our age.
More walkable communities.
Yeah. Walkable, better public transport.
Yeah.
Transport. Vacation season is nearly upon us, and I'm going to Italy with my family this spring to experience the Dolce Vita. This year, I'm treating myself to the luxe upgrades I deserve with some of Quince's high-quality travel essentials at great prices, like lightweight European linen styles from $30, washable silk tops, and comfy lounge sets, with premium luggage options and stylish tote bags to carry it all. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I love that. I cannot wait to show off my new linen ensemble from Quince as I'm overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. For your next trip, treat yourself to the luxe upgrades you deserve from Quince. Go to quince.com/sitwithus for 365-day returns, plus free shipping on your order. That's QUINCE.com/sitwithus to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/sitwithus. I love to cook. But these days, it can feel like there's no price difference in cooking yourself and staying in or eating out. And to make matters worse, there's so many unhealthy options out there to sift through. Home Chef can help you save money and eat healthier with their fresh, delicious meal kits delivered straight to your door. Home Chef delivers fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes conveniently to your doorstep to simplify your cooking experience. I love how easy, simple, and delicious their salmon with dill crema is. So good. Users of leading meal kits have rated Home Chef #1 in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. Home Chef has everything you and your family need for hassle-free, delicious dinners. Home Chef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs. Plus, Home Chef customers save an average of $86 per month on groceries. And when meal planning ends up on the back burner, check out Home Chef's new 5-ingredient meals. For a limited time, Home Chef is offering our listeners 50% off and free shipping for your first box, plus free dessert for life. Go to homechef.com/sitwithus. That's homechef.com/sitwithus for 50% off your first box and free dessert for life. homechef.com/sitwithus. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert.
I mean, in Chicago is so easy because of the grid system too. Like, you go straight. And when you're at the end of the line, it turns around and goes back.
Right.
The first time I ever took a bus in LA, I was like, I've been kidnapped. I was like, the bus took a turn and I was like,
this is not
where am I? Where are we going?
Yeah.
And it's so easy with all the, I mean, same for New York.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I've never taken the bus once or twice in New York, but I mostly have taken the train.
Never taken the bus.
It just makes it so easy.
Yes.
The only easy place to go in LA via the train is if you're going to go to like LA Live or like see
downtown.
a sporting event.
Yeah,
if you're going to go downtown.
Yeah. All roads lead to downtown, or all train roads lead to downtown.
Yeah.
Train tracks.
All the tracks.
All the train tracks lead to downtown.
Lead to downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, on that note. Okay. So I deal with things with a very dark humor. So if you've recently had a pet pass away and you don't want to listen to this, I get it. Come back next week. You can sit with us. But a sad update. We did decide to send Alfred into the great beyond so he could meet his one true love, Emma, on the other side. A couple weeks ago.
Oh, poor Alfie.
Our little Alfie. Our little baby. Actually, the same angel of death came for both of them.
Such a kind soul.
Yeah, she really was.
Yeah, she's so nice.
She was very empathetic. She like cried with us.
And she cried with us too. It's like,
what's wrong?
She must cry so many times a day.
She has to. Like, she walked up to us almost crying.
Yeah.
But
wait, who is this? Who's the angel of death?
So she's this doctor that comes for pets when it's time to put them down.
Yeah, she does like in-home euthanasia for your pet.
Yeah, so that they're not like
is
scared.
Kind of nicer though.
Yeah. I mean, you do. It is definitely a privilege to be able to do that because it is more expensive than doing it at the vet.
Yeah.
But I mean, Alfred gets so stressed out in car rides. It was just the right thing for us to do it at home. And she's so respectful. She like gives you time with them. And then he got his sedation. And then, you know, we all decided when it was time to do the next shot.
Yeah.
And she kind of lets you stay with them for a while.
Oh,
We put
so
a little
sweet.
flower out and she like tucked it in his arms as she was leaving.
Aw,
Like she
that's
has
so
like a
cute.
beautiful basket. She wraps them up. Like
Yeah.
she treats it like a very
Yeah.
like beautiful thing.
Yeah, very like respectful.
Yeah. So that was tough, but it was time. And I read this thing online that was like, it's better to do it like a month early than a day too late.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that really resonated with me. And then
Mhm.
Alfred took like a pretty drastic turn like one weekend.
Mhm.
And our cat sitter, who we love, she's been cat sitting Alfred
Oh, right.
almost since we got
Yeah.
him.
Mhm.
Came over and she was just this like, she's very level-headed, but she also like loves animals. Like she
Mhm.
loves her cats and like
Yeah.
all the dogs that she sits and things like that. And she was just kind of like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah. Like it's
Like
clear.
she's like, based on everything you're telling me, and like she hadn't seen him in a little bit. She was like,
Yeah.
he's not.
Yeah.
He's
It's
not
hard to
having the
see it
best
when you're in
time.
it.
Yeah.
Because that was the main thing with Emma. It was like when we were in it, it was like, yeah, she didn't like, yeah, maybe she didn't have the best quality of life, but she still was eating a lot,
Yeah.
like voraciously eating.
Yeah.
And she could still like make her way to the doggy door to go outside and to come in. So it was like she's still functional.
Yeah.
But like the actual quality of her life, when you look at it to what it was before, was just like not there. But when you're there
Yes.
day to day, it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah. You don't really get it.
Yeah.
Like Alfred was pretty, because he had kidney disease.
Yeah.
At the end, he was pretty like incontinent. So he was peeing on everything. But like,
Yeah.
I was so used to it. I was like, oh, I'm just going to go get the carpet cleaner. And like, because his body has trouble filtering out toxins, it doesn't smell. I mean, there's like a
Oh, I see.
little smell to it, but it's
Yeah.
not the
It's
same
not like the
as
normal
like
cat.
Yeah.
the normal
smell.
cat pee that like you cannot get out. So
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like carpet cleaning, and my mom came to visit, and she was just like, I don't know how you're doing this.
Yeah.
Like I was cleaning the couch like 3 or 4 times a day.
Oh, that is kind of a lot.
And I was like, I know. I was just like, well, I mean, he just pees. It's fine. He seems happy still. Like
yeah.
he still sleeps with Keith at night. He still like is interested in food.
Yeah.
And we were doing subcutaneous fluids for him every day. And we've been doing that for months. But he would still run to a spot and like sit, wait for his little fluids, get his food. And towards the end, it was just like he didn't want any food. I was getting him, I was going to the store and getting like all these different things that he could try. I was letting him eat. If he was even remotely interested in my food, I was like, here you go.
Yeah.
And like at one point, he was kind of acting like a kitten. Like he was running around and jumping. And, you know, it wasn't a very active cat before that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they kind of always told us his numbers were bad for how he behaved. Like they were always shocked. Like the first time we took him to I think it's the only time we took him to the animal hospital. Usually we took him to the vet. But when he had to stay at the animal hospital, they were like, is he like not eating? Is he hiding? Is he doing all of this? Like, and we were like, no, he's totally fine. He's acting completely normal.
Yeah.
The only reason I brought him in here was because my other cat had a problem. And,
oh, wow.
And so we took both of them in to get their blood work done.
Wow.
Oh.
And they were like, bring this cat in right now. But this was like months ago.
Yeah.
And so like like he wasn't behaving the way that
Yeah.
you would think like a sick
Right.
cat would. And I was like, I'm not putting him down just because he pees on things.
You're
because
right.
he's like inconvenient to me.
Yeah.
You know?
It was, there's only kind of one marker there.
Yeah. But then when he
Other.
started like not being interested in his food,
Yeah.
and then he had some like oral problems, it was like, I mean, we definitely did it a day too late. Like I got to see what that looks like, a day too late over a month too early. But I mean, thankfully he was only in that bad way for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Where he was like hiding and you know, just wasn't acting like himself.
Yeah.
But up until then, I mean, probably like up until like a week before,
Yeah.
he still had a lot of his old characteristics.
Yeah.
Because I always,
hard.
like when I think of Emma, I don't think of her being like, I mean, yeah, she was like deaf and blind and kind of just like stayed in one spot. But like,
It's like a potato.
yeah, she was always just a little potato. But even like that night before,
Yeah.
I was just kind of holding her and I don't know. I was just like, this just feels like Emma. This feels like what
Yeah.
she normally does on me, which is sit and be pet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's her greatest
I know.
joy.
I mean, I feel like her greatest joy was always hiking. Someone when she couldn't go hiking anymore, I started thinking about it. I'm like, okay, well, she's like too blind now to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like, when is the right time? But then she was still doing all the other normal things.
Yeah, eating and
Yeah. Because her eyesight failed like pretty slowly
yeah.
over time. So then there was a point where it's like we couldn't take her on walks anymore either.
Oh.
So for dogs, you know,
Yeah.
they love to go on walks
Yeah.
every day. So they're like on their schedule.
They're like, let's go.
Yeah.
Giddy up.
Yeah.
Take me from a walk.
I know it's hard. Did you, because you didn't have pets growing up though. So you didn't really have to put any pets down.
I
or
had
anything.
rabbits when I was in high school,
Yeah.
but that was it. I had my first rabbit, Trixie. And
Trixie Mattel the rabbit.
Trixie Mattel the rabbit. She is the rabbit who famously bit my face.
Mhm.
What?
Mhm.
So that's why it looks that way. No, it's
If I had, that's why it looks that way. That's why it's so big. No, I have a scar. You can only see it if I don't have lipstick on and I'm smiling. It's like a puffy scar
look
on
your
my lip because I stuck my head in her cage to give her a kiss.
Oh.
And
It's invasion of space.
yep,
Yeah.
she didn't like it. Bit the shit out of my face.
Yeah.
Had to go get a tetanus shot.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
But that rabbit we did have to put down. With the vet, we like brought her in and she was just like not having a good time. And then we had these
Just
two other
old, huh?
rabbits. My mom got them, I want to say maybe when I was like a junior or senior in high school because they died when I was in college.
Mm.
One of them was Cinnamini and she was this little brown rabbit.
Cinnamini, that's such a cute name.
Cinnamini. And then the other rabbit, we
Yeah.
couldn't think of a name for so long.
Cinemaxi.
No, we called it Obi, which was other bunny.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Obi-Wan Kenobi, but Obi for
No,
other bunny.
Obi stood for other bunny.
Wow.
And my mom for a while was like, her name is Thumper. Her name is Thumper.
It didn't
And
stick.
like now she still calls him other bunny.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but they chose to let them pass naturally, like at their house.
Mhm.
Oh.
So those are the only experiences. I had never been
Wow.
the one to like make the call or like, because
Yeah.
you had a dog when you were, not that they made you make the call, but you
I
had a
had a
dog
call.
when you were younger that,
We always had dogs.
Yeah.
We usually had multiple dogs growing up. But I remember the first dog that my parents got, it was a gift. My dad gave it to my mom, the dog, on Christmas Eve
oh,
for her Christmas present. So they called her Evie.
here's a bunch of your responsibility for you.
Bye. Here's a dog.
Bye. Merry Christmas.
So,
Evie, that's
Evie.
cute.
So we had Evie before I was born. So Evie was like our first
Aw.
dog. So I remember, but then, so she's like in all the pictures and stuff when I'm
Mhm.
really little. But then I was the one who found her dead. She passed naturally
God.
at our house in the playroom of all places, like where the kids go. Because we had like a kind of mattress thing on the floor, like mattress pillow thing on the floor. And I went in one morning and I think it was like on a weekend. And I went in and she was like cold and stiff, just like really. I don't remember how old I was.
Man,
Still in elementary school for sure.
that's traumatic.
So then I had
The
went and
fact that
grabbed
you're
my
so
mom.
mentally
and,
well these days is like,
so then I went to my mom and I was like, oh my God, like Evie's not moving. So she like jumped out of bed, like frantic.
yeah,
And I got her. And she must have had like a heart attack. She was
Yeah.
older. She's probably like 10 something. Well, I don't know how old, but
yeah.
she wasn't like really old, So it was like really out of nowhere.
That's crazy.
So then we lived on a horse farm. So we had like, all this land. So we buried her in the woods near the house.
Oh, That's
Going up the
sweet.
driveway so you could always see her as you go up and down the driveway.
oh, that's sweet.
Mhm.
Did you know she was dead, or were you just like, I'm not sure what's going on?
I didn't know what was going on at first. Like
Yeah.
after, I was old
Yeah.
enough
Yeah.
to know. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I know.
God.
That's really intense.
God, your poor parents. Ew. Oh, that's so sad. I feel like it's hard
Yeah.
with older pets too, because like
Mm-hmm.
we specifically wanted to adopt an older cat,
Mhm.
and I don't think I knew. I don't think I thought about it in terms
Yeah.
of like, oh, well,
You
like
never think about that part.
no. I
Yeah.
was like, I have a lot of friends
It's the
that have
worst
had
part.
like you had Emma for
Mm-hmm.
13 years,
Yeah.
like a long time. My
Yeah.
best friend Hannah had her cat Lillian since we were in college, like
Mhm.
14, 15 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh yeah, you just have cats. You just have your pets for a really long time. And I
Yeah.
was like, no, Alfred was old when we
He's already
got
old when we got
him.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like, I didn't really
Yeah.
think about that. We wouldn't have as much time
Mm-hmm.
with our little guy,
Mm-hmm.
our little king.
It's
he
true,
was
but those
the
are
best
always
cat.
the pets that people don't adopt because of that. That's the
Yeah.
sad reality of it.
Yeah.
They get forgotten puppies.
I know. Thankfully, Alfred only spent. So how we got Alfred, I'll tell his origin story, which I think we've told before.
Yeah, he's Mexican, isn't he?
He's Mexican. Yeah. So Alfred was in a hoarder's house in Mexico.
I wish they had an episode of Hoarders on.
Alfred's. So we always joke that Alfred was like the king of this hoarder's house, that he like told the other cats what to do because he was my theory.
Is he so big?
He was so big, but I also like the way he behaved when we even brought him home. I think he was a domesticated cat that lived with like a family. And then maybe got out or something happened. And that's how he ended up with the hoarders. Because he never, speaking of all the times he peed at the end of his life, he knew how to use the litter box immediately. Immediately walked to it. He knew the rooms he was allowed to go in and not allowed to go in. He knew house things that made me think like, oh, you were domesticated. But then when we got Grandpa Barry, I was like, okay, this is like Bruiser over here. The kitten would like do something and he'd be like, bam, and just like slap him. He's like, you are a kitten and I'm the big cat. Don't mess with me.
Had to teach him the ways.
Yeah.
He raised him.
He did. And that's kind of how he was at the shelter when we went to see him. Because we went to this place that wasn't like the Humane Society where they have like the little cages and you kind of like bop around. It was a place that had like basically like a back trailer. And then they had like 10 cats in a room. And they all kind of shared this room.
And it was in a trailer?
Yeah, well, not a trailer, like a
like a little box
like
house,
a storage container type place. Like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like where you like when you drive by a school and they're doing construction or something.
Yes.
Where the kids go to class, like a mobile room.
Yeah.
Because they also had like dogs and stuff. So the dogs were all kept like on this like back area to like run around and stuff. But we actually went to see this other cat. And then we saw Alfred and he was sitting and there was a little kitten that was kind of annoying him. And he did the same thing, just slapped him and like moved on. But like he let us touch his belly immediately, rub under his chin. Like there were because Keith grew up with lots and lots of cats and like pets and all of that. So he was like touching his tail and touching like all these spots just to be like, okay, let's see if you're okay with this. How nice you're going to be. And he just let him do anything. He like immediately jumped in our arms. He kept coming back over to us and we were like, okay, you're our cat.
I think maybe chose you a little bit.
100%.
Like he was like, okay, let me be on my best behavior.
He was like, I'm the best.
Yeah.
Take me home. And then as soon as we let him sleep in our bed, because I was like, I'm not letting him sleep in our bed because I have allergies. After like a month, we let him sleep in the bed and he never went back. He was like, he would take us to bed. He'd be like, okay, it's time.
Like
past your bedtime,
It's past your bedtime. Go to bed. And then he always sleeps in like Keith's arms or on his chest or like spoons with him. It was so sweet.
I like taking a nap with your pets, but then for the night, I don't want.
You want to be alone.
I want to, I get so hot.
But do they sleep in your bed?
Eugene would have them in there all the time.
Yeah.
So we have to compromise.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's never other.
So it's not every night,
Yeah.
But no thanks. I just want to, I want my space. I want to be able to move around. Otherwise I wake up, I have no covers. The dogs will get gather the covers wiggle. And stuff.
Alfred
and
stayed.
Wedge between us. So then I end up on the edge of the bed. This is my bed.
You're like, this is my mattress.
You have a bed over
there.
You have a bed over there.
Yeah, Alfred was really good about stepping on or like going on Keith and leaving me totally alone while I slept. He never like would climb on me, never did anything. But a couple nights before he passed, he slept like right on my head. I woke up the next morning, my eyes were like swollen and like I looked like death, but I was like, it was so sweet. He wanted to sleep on my pillow with me.
I want to be near you, close to you. Yeah. Did we ever tell you Emma's origin story? I don't know.
No.
I mean, she definitely ate an old woman, correct?
She definitely.
She had that energy.
Definitely ate an old woman. No, so Eugene, this is because Eugene got her a couple years before he met me. And he inherited her from his roommate.
Right.
So he used to have two roommates. And one of them was a aerial dancer for Kylie Minogue.
Whoa.
It was like really crazy.
Hyper specific
really
job.
Random. Yeah, like the people who are on the things in the air during like her concerts and performances and stuff. So he was like, the universe is telling me that I need to get a dog. So he was like, okay, we'll come with you. So all the roommates went to Barkin' Bitches, which was a place, and I don't know if it's still around. It doesn't have a storefront anymore.
Yeah.
The store actually closed down during COVID. But it was a place you could go into, and they kept the dogs there, and they would it was a dog rescue that you had adopt through them, right?
Yeah.
So you would go in, and it's a pet store, and they would have like 15 dogs running around the pet store, so you could play
sit
with them
and pet them,
and like kind of interact with all these different dogs at once, and then see if you want to adopt one. So the roommate sat down and didn't touch any of the dogs. So Eugene and Catherine, his other roommate, were around like playing with them all, and then out crept Emma from underneath the bench and went and sat in the guy's lap.
Aww.
And he was like, okay, this is my dog. And then Eugene was like, really?
This one?
You want that? You want that dog?
Her little pencil legs and her underbite.
Because she was like hiding and then sat in his lap where all these other dogs were like being interactive and wanted to play and be like more like a dog. You know, Emma was being like a cat. So when they adopted her, I brought her home, but then he obviously had a very busy schedule because he was traveling and stuff with Kylie Minogue. So he would just leave the dog there. So then Eugene ended up taking care of her all the time.
Aww.
And then he was going to move out, and he's like, my new place doesn't allow pets. So I'm just going to bring her back to the pound. And Eugene was like, no, you can't do that. I'll take her for you. Like, you can't let her go back to the pound. Like, how traumatic.
That would be traumatic.
You know, it's so horrible. It's so horrible that people feel like they could just do that with pets. That they can just like use them for a certain amount of time and
then be like, bye.
Yeah, it's not fair. So Eugene fully adopted her then, or just kept her. There was no official
paperwork. There was no like
or
pink
paperwork
slip.
or anything like that, you know?
Aww.
So then she's been with him ever since.
Emma.
She's
She's still with him.
I mean, she's sitting on our credenza at home right now. So next to her commemorative picture.
Sweet girl. She was such a good dog. She was just so chill, and she always like wanted to be on your lap. And she had these like thick dagger, pointy little toes.
Yes. Her nails, no matter how much you cut them or anything, they would always get everything.
Was she like a cat the whole time, or just in the beginning? Oh.
Always. She was always like a cat.
Yeah.
Except she always wanted to like go on a walk and a hike.
Yeah, she was like ready to party.
Hiking. Even at the end when she was at least 12 years old, 13 years old, when we go hiking, she'd be in front of everybody.
Oh.
More in shape than
I'm
anyone.
Free.
Yeah.
I remember one time, this was years and years ago, like early BuzzFeed days. We slept over at your house and Emma and Pesto slept with Keith. Like woke up and Emma was like between Keith's arms. And she always had this like little her princess sit where she like crossed her paws like a princess.
Yes, she did.
And that was so cute. I have a picture of him because I was like, this is so funny. What are you doing, Emma?
No, always like that. How is Grandpa Barry doing now that he's the solo cat though?
He's adjusting, I think. He was pretty depressed at the beginning. And this is super dark. But Alfred, we brought him outside for his last like 2 days because he wasn't moving very much. So we were like, you can walk around outside. And he did his little cat flop, which he hadn't done in a while, where they like sploot and like waggle their tail. But we also said goodbye to him outside on our patio. And Grandpa Barry sat at the window and watched the whole thing.
Aww.
He just like sat and
and
was like, he was just close.
Yeah.
So he was definitely like very depressed for the first couple weeks. Like he just stayed in bed.
Aww.
And usually he's like, he behaves more like a cat than Alfred did. Like he likes to be alone. He'll go into the closet and just like sleep there all day and then wake up for food.
Yeah.
But he was just sleeping on our bed like pretty much throughout the day. And was like, I'll be here. And I mean, he doesn't love the new attention from Henry because Alfred was
Henry wants his kitty cat time.
Yeah, Alfred was king of cats with kids.
Yeah.
All of my friends that had kids would come and like pet Alfred and kiss him. And like the only thing he didn't like was laughter. Like if you started laughing, he would leave the room. And my mom was always like, what happened to him that he doesn't like laughter? And I was like, I don't know. He doesn't like laughter. But as long as the kid was pretty chill, oh my God, he let the kids grab his tail, pull his fur. I mean, obviously we tried to not let him do that.
Yeah.
And there were a couple times where Henry would grab him in a way that Alfred didn't like, and Alfred would give a little swat.
Yeah.
But I do think it's important if you have a pet and you have a kid. I mean, even if you don't have a pet when you have a kid, like animals are not toys.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly. They have to learn.
Yeah, they have to learn that you're not the same way you learn. You're not supposed to hit. You're not supposed to yank a cat's tail.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not supposed to put your hands in a dog's mouth. Like, there are things that I'm like, you do kind of have to learn that lesson on your own sometimes.
Yeah.
So Alfred did give him a little.
Yeah.
But
as long as it's
never,
safe.
Yeah. Yeah. And Alfred never put his claws out.
Yeah.
He had claws.
Oh, wow.
Because we got them. But he never, anytime he's ever like smacked me, Keith, Henry, the kitten, like nothing. It's always like a paw.
Yeah.
But he would just let Henry climb all over him. And he stayed in the living room during the day. And that's Henry's like main play area, his living room. So he would sit with him on his little chair. He would jump on him, give him kisses, pet him. And so now that Henry doesn't have that, and Grandpa,
he runs after Grandpa.
Really not a fan. Oh, he runs after Grandpa. So he calls Grandpa and my dad Baba.
It's so cute.
Their names are both Grandpa. So he will get up from a nap and be like, Baba! And like run toddler style towards him, which is like number one cat no. And Grandpa Barry just darts. So we try and pick him up and let him pet him. And like Grandpa Barry likes to be around where things are happening, but he does not want to be that involved.
He wants to be observing.
Yeah, unless it's with Keith, Alfred, Grandpa, and Henry. Keith obsessed. Like if Keith walks in the door, it's Jesus has come again. And they are, Grandpa is flopping. Henry's grabbing his leg. Alfred used to run to the door when he heard it unlock. Meanwhile, I, who stay home for the day,
do everything.
Chop liver. Chop liver. Grandpa acts like he's never been loved when Keith comes home. He's like, please, please, pick me up, pet me. And he has a real nasty meow. Like Alfred had a real kitten meow. It was very like,
oh.
Grandpa's is like, it's long. And he has this, I forget what it's called. It's something like scoliosis, but it's not scoliosis.
It's his spine.
Stomas? Maybe stomas.
Oh, I think I know what you're
It's a genetic thing. Like he was just born with it, but basically his gums reject his teeth.
Ooh.
So he every year has to have X amount of teeth pulled.
Oh wow.
God.
Just because they'll fall out of his mouth basically.
So have no teeth.
They'll get like really infected. Eventually, after like, I think we have like 3 or 4 more years of getting them pulled. Because you don't want to pull healthy teeth because that's just like pain. But he always has rank breath.
Ew.
Like bad breath.
So he will have for the majority of his life no teeth.
In a couple years, yeah.
Wow.
He'll have no teeth, yeah.
Okay.
But it's better for him. Like he became a much happier cat after they told us, like after they figured out that was what was wrong.
Yeah.
Like
so
he was
pain,
eating more. He was being way more affectionate with us. Like he was just, he was having mouth pain. So.
Aw, poor boy.
But yeah, he has a real nasty meow that he meows at you.
Wow.
But Henry's definitely a little sad. I don't think he fully grasps what, like, obviously he doesn't grasp what death is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if he thinks about it in the way, like, my mom was here when it happened. And it's like she also left right after it happened. So I'm like,
he's just gone.
do you think Alfred went with my mom? Like, and we have pictures of Alfred and he sees it. But I'm like, what do you understand of this?
Yeah.
But thankfully we have a lot of pictures of them together and
Are you gonna get
memories.
another cat?
No.
No.
I won't trust any cat
Poor
the way I
Grandpa
trusted
Barry.
Alfred with Henry.
When Henry's older.
When Henry's older, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he's a little older and has more understanding. Because the whole reason we got Grandpa Barry was because when we went to Greece for Thespi's wedding, we set up the Ring camera inside just so we could see Alfred, you know. And he was just so sad. He like stayed in one spot all the time and like
he needed a friend.
He needed a friend.
Yeah.
And I think Grandpa's the same way. He needs a friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't trust any other cat the way that I trusted Alfred. Like I could go in the other room, I could do cleaning, I could, you know, I didn't have to separate them. I knew that they both knew how to behave with each other. And I don't think I'd have that trust with other cats. I also wouldn't do that with Grandpa.
Yeah.
If I'm not going to walk out of, they wouldn't be in the same room together. So it doesn't.
Grandpa would run.
Yeah, Grandpa would run. Grandpa wouldn't
He's
be there.
learned to run.
He's learned to just sprint away. Though Grandpa, since Henry was really little, has always wanted to be in there when Henry goes to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'll run in for bedtime, and then after 10 minutes, you'll hear like a scratching, and you're like, what is that? And you're like, oh.
That's kind of
Still
cute.
He was in Henry's room. Yeah.
He puts him to
So
bed.
he likes to be around. And he would
Yeah.
sit with me when I was
Yeah.
breastfeeding and stuff. And
Uh-huh.
he'd sit with Keith when he was giving him a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So he loves in his own way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I could trust. There's a cat we have outside, Socks. And he's the closest we've been to taking another cat in. Because he's just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But
Is he a wild cat or does he belong to someone, do you think?
I think he belonged to someone when he was younger, but I think he's pretty feral.
Oh, now he's
Yeah.
roaming the world.
He's kind of roaming the world. He's got a little hard edge to him. But so did Alfred. But yeah, I don't think I would have the patience to take care of another thing
Yeah.
right now.
Toddlers are a lot. Toddlers are a lot of
Toddlers
work.
are a lot.
They're go.
They just want to party. They just want to party all the time, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more fun than when he was like my little squish blob.
Mm-hmm.
Though, did I get to do more things when he was my little squish blob? Yes.
Yeah.
Now I have to worry about his brain.
Yeah.
And be like,
Yeah.
are we doing things that are good
Are you
for
learning?
your brain?
Missing out on a show that everyone else is talking about isn't an option for me. I'm constantly signing up for this streaming service or that one, and then a few months later, I realize I've still been paying for that service long after I finish the show. This literally just happened to me this week. Getting Rocket Money was a game changer. They'll find your unwanted subscriptions and even help you cancel them, so you never have to worry about them slipping through the cracks again. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. See all of your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For ones you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/sitwithus today. That's rocketmoney.com/sitwithus. rocketmoney.com/sitwithus.
Am I working on your fine motor skills right now?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think I'll get another one. Are you going to get another? Well, I know Eugene wants 100 more.
Eugene literally sends me a dog almost every day. I'm like, why are you looking? Why are you looking? We made a deal that we would get another dog after he films his movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's
Chop,
not.
chop, Eugene.
It's not. I know that's what I told him. It's not a secret right now that he's in pre-production for his movie. So he's working on that. It's in progress.
Yeah.
But it hasn't happened yet. So why are you looking at all these dogs? They're not going to be available when we're ready.
Also, you'd be like Betsy. You'd be the one with the dog.
I'd be the
You'd
one
have to take
having
care
to
of
take
it.
care of everything. Yeah, exactly. That's why I told him I won't do it until he's back home
Yeah.
from filming. I was like, then we can get one. Because otherwise I'm going to have to do everything.
Yeah. And you have some.
I'm already the
You
disciplinarian.
have some naughty little boys
Right?
at your house.
Yeah.
Angels. No, Pesto's not naughty. Just Kimbap.
When Pesto was little, that's how he got his name, because he was so pesky and nonstop for 4 years. Because we got him when he was a couple months old.
Yeah.
For 4 to 5 years, he was really pesky.
You got him as a baby? I didn't know that.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, we got him. We walked. We weren't even ready for a dog yet, and I don't know what we were thinking, but Eugene and I went into the pound
You never go. You never
Just
go.
to
Or you're going to
look.
leave with
Yeah.
one.
because we want to be we just want to see what it's like, see what kind of dogs and stuff are there. But then it breaks your heart so much. You
Yeah.
feel you have to save
Mhm.
one. You know, you have to, Rainie.
Yeah.
You have to. So that's what happened.
And was he with a litter if he was just a few months?
No, he was by
Oh.
himself.
But,
They found him on the street in downtown Los Angeles.
Oh.
And we because on the pound website, it's shopping online.
Yeah,
you can
you see
see the
pictures.
pictures and where they are, which locations and stuff.
Mhm.
And you can you get their numbers or whatever, and you go to the pound and be like, I want to see these dogs.
Yep.
And they'll like bring you around. You can like play with them for a little bit and stuff, and then decide if you want to take one home.
Mm.
So we did that, and we looked at a couple dogs, but then Pesto definitely had the most energy and really wanted to play with you. And he also had this huge scab on his back, like almost his whole back had no hair. They think he got like matted and he got stuck under a fence and had to like tear it off to get out from under the fence.
Is that why he has that scar down his back?
Yeah. So it used to be his whole back. It used to be his whole back. So now it's just a little
Baby.
tiny scar that he doesn't have hair on his back. So I was like, no one's going to want him like this either. Like, it's going to be so hard. Like all the other dogs were really cute and they were puppies.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're going to get adopted.
Yeah.
You know? So then I was like, okay, we have to bring Pesto home.
Oh.
But we didn't know his name at the time. We used to bring this dog home. But it was so sad because it was a Friday.
What does that mean?
And
What's that devastating
mean?
because it was
What does it
Friday.
mean?
it was a Friday and they make you like spay or neuter the dog before you bring it home. Even when he was so young, he was like 4 months old.
Yeah.
They make you do it if they're at or at least around the threshold. It's kind of still a little too young to do it.
Yeah.
But they made us do that before we bring him home. So we had to leave him there until Monday. And then Monday morning, he went into a vet and then we had to pick him up from the vet's office.
Why do they do it so? They did that to Alfred, but
And
with
'cause they
his
just
microchip,
really want to make sure.
they like literally stabbed him in the back and then handed him to us, like put him in the bag. And I was like, oh, why couldn't you do this before we got here?
Yeah. They want to make sure it's actually happening.
Yeah, right.
So you pay for it or whatever.
Yeah. They're like, here you go.
Yeah.
Pesto's such a ragamuffin too. Like when he's like really fluffy, he's got just the like
Yeah.
fluffiest little face.
Yeah. Yeah. He has crazy hair for
They're
sure.
good dogs though.
Crazy hair.
Overall, good dogs.
Now, Kimbap is finally starting to calm down. He's probably like 6, 7 years old.
Oh my God.
And he's finally started to like mellow out.
You gotta
know?
tell him about that time we went on vacation and
Which time, Becky? Which time?
the one when we were in Palm Springs and we left the groceries out.
Oh, no.
We like ran to go get something. I don't remember what it was, but basically, at the Airbnb we were at was a like big island in the middle, and I think we were gonna make like pizza or something.
Mhm.
So we had the flour out and like the tomato and whatever,
Oh yeah.
blah blah, and then we
Yeah,
were like, we
bunch
had
of
to go
groceries
get
out.
something else. Like maybe we were going on a booze run or something. But we come back. Pesto is covered, like his whole face with flour. He had jumped up on the
Kimbap.
chair. Kimbap, not Pesto, sorry.
Pesto, my sweet angel, didn't even touch anything.
Didn't touch anything. Pesto was like, I'm not a part of this.
Yeah.
Kimbap had opened the bag of flour and
He
then
had
like,
jumped onto the counter.
yeah, it was high and was just covered in flour and there's flour all over the floor.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It was like-
this is so gross. And he looks gross and he
well, it was
smells
because he like
gross.
was eating the flour, but then his saliva with the flour
Yeah.
made it like chunky, like wet dough. So he basically had a wet dough beard all over his face. And then we walked in, he acted like nothing was wrong. Like we wouldn't,
and he just like looked
like
up
we
like,
wouldn't
He's
tell.
like gaslighting you.
hello?
And I think we had some Lay's chips because they're Becky's favorite. And he had opened the bag and eaten all the chips
Yeah.
and then peed in the bag. And then there was flour everywhere and all over his face. It was a mess. It was a mess.
It was so gross.
He used to get into absolutely everything. Everything. It was so bad.
Yeah, it was yucky. It was not
was
for me.
yucky.
It was really yucky.
This is when Becky was like,
it.
I'll never have a dog.
Yeah, I was like, this solidified it for me. I was so pro dog until
'Cause you never
I
know
saw
what's gonna
how
happen.
much work.
Well, I mean, Becky, you went and got Kimbap with Eugene. So I blame you.
I would say
You
that
are
was
the
not my-
responsible adult there, okay?
I told him the dog was weird looking. I told him that dog is funny. I was like, do you want a funny dog?
Weird looking.
Because he was funny. Well, he was so much skinnier. And I think his like penis was out when we walked by. And I
Yeah.
was just like, ah. But it was crazy because I don't remember what dog we were actually going to look at when we went there.
Yeah.
But there was like a lotto with people outside.
Yeah.
And it was basically like they had 3. It had to have been like a pug or
I think it was a French
Yeah.
bulldog.
a French bulldog. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were puppies.
And they had some that you could adopt.
Yeah. And so they
Mhm.
did like a lotto of people who were able to like go look at these dogs or whatever.
Oh wow.
But it was so sad to us because we're both like very, I don't know, like you see someone in
Yeah.
need, you're like, we have to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when everybody just left, after they didn't like get the lotto.
Yeah.
I was just like,
When there's like hundreds of dogs in there to adopt.
yeah. And we were
exactly.
just like, we have to go in.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't not.
At least, yeah.
At least
just
look.
disappear.
Yeah. So that's how we found Kimmy.
You found Kim Bob. I know because when Eugene brought him home, he was a mess
Mm-hmm.
and he had kennel cough. So he was actually really sick.
Mm-hmm.
So he seemed so chill
Yeah.
and just like relaxed and like sleeping a lot the first couple of days. And then at night he would cough so much. I was like, something's wrong.
Oh.
So once his kennel cough cleared up,
Then he went nuts.
he was like a little Tasmanian devil, running like crazy. He did not like walking on the leash very well, eating everything, jumping on everything, like no rules. No rules. He was potty trained.
Yeah, that's good.
Like he would like try to mark things inside every once in a while, but for the most part, he was like very potty trained.
Do you know his origin story? Like where he was found?
It was, he was adopted from the Humane Society in like Pomona.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So they
San
said it was
Dimas.
a surrendered dog. So they don't know if someone had found him on the street and then brought him in, or if like an owner brought him in. I was like, well, someone probably wanted to get rid of him because such a jerk. Always getting into trouble.
Like, get rid of this dog.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had to do a lot of training with him. Like it was a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of patience.
Yeah.
A lot of patience. And just like what you're talking about with Keith, like I wanted to make sure that he was like, you could pull his tail, touch everything,
Yeah.
do all this stuff. Because like you have friends with kids and we have nieces that come and stuff. You don't want the
Yeah.
dog to act bad. So it was a lot of desensitizing stuff. Now he's fine.
Yeah.
He can do everything.
Yeah. Are the dogs Eugene sending you, like, is there a specific kind of like big dog, little dog, scruffy dog?
Eugene wants a big dog and I said no.
No.
Big dog, big poops. I'm not picking up big poops. No thanks.
And you
No
know you're
way.
taking care of that dog.
No way. And we have a little doggy door. It wouldn't fit through the doggy door. The doggy door is one size. One size does not fit all. Okay. One size fits small dogs.
It fits a tiny dog.
Under 20 pounds.
Yeah, I don't see you
Under
guys
20
with a
pounds.
big dog.
I
I
don't
see
want
you
a big
with
dog.
another little dog.
Yeah.
Like a little, I mean, your dogs are cute. They're cute. Take this with love. You guys have ragamuffins. They're little ragamuffins. You need another little ragamuffin.
Exactly. Yeah. A motley crew.
Yeah, like they're
you
cute
know?
and like a scrappy. Like
Yeah.
you'd always describe them as scrappy. These are scrappy dogs. They're not
Yeah.
like,
No, they're
beautiful.
not purebred.
yeah,
Yeah. No.
doggies.
But the purebred ones all have homes,
They all have what?
Homes.
I thought you said humps, and I was like, what?
They got humps.
Purebred dogs have humps?
They got homes.
They got humps?
And also the mutts usually have better health. A lot of purebred dogs have health issues
Oh,
too.
yeah.
So
Interesting.
it can save you a lot of money in
Yeah.
the end. Not as many
Yeah.
health issues.
I think that's like a big thing that having the conversation early on, especially if you're adopting like an animal with
Mhm.
your family, is like, do you have a threshold of what you're willing to pay for in terms
Yeah.
of care?
Yeah.
Because I know when we took Alfred to the animal hospital, the animal hospital is so expensive.
Mhm.
And there was a certain limit we got to where I was like, no. I was
Yeah,
like,
how much
is
more do we
this
do?
going to make him
Mhm.
better? Is this helping him feel better? Like, what is this doing for him? Because I don't really understand.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we had talked about when we first got Alfred that we did not want to do. Same with ourselves. Like, I don't want extraordinary life-saving measures taken.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think when it's time, it's time. And if he
Mhm.
could have passed naturally, just of old age and
Mhm.
just like, da-da-da,
Yeah.
that would have been my preferred method. But like, we weren't going to do kitty dialysis
Forever.
or like
Yeah.
put him in a surgery or something like that.
Mhm.
But I think having that conversation
Mhm.
so that everyone's on the same page. I also think like if you were someone that grew up that wanted to be a vet, you probably fucking love animals.
Yeah.
And like you're the same reason. Hopefully the reason people become doctors and nurses because you love people.
Mhm.
And so if you can do everything you can to keep
Mhm.
an animal alive, that was the vibe I got, is they wanted to do
Yeah.
anything they could to keep Alfred alive. And I was like, but this isn't, he's not happy. He
Yeah,
can't
exactly.
tell us.
Alive doesn't mean better all the time.
Yeah,
for them.
alive isn't better. So I think that's something
They're
to
better for
consider
the
too.
animal.
Yeah. Almost every friend I
Very
have that's
true.
had to put down an animal had to have a different vet than their own. Like look
Oh,
at
wow.
things or like give
Mhm.
them a different perspective. Because it was
Mhm.
like,
Yeah. Well, if
I'm-
you know them for 10 years too, you're probably like, well, I don't,
yeah.
And I think mortality is so hard to swallow for everybody.
Oh my
So,
God. Yeah.
And if you have some control, you're probably like, well, let me exercise all the control I have.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I actually had that same conversation with my cat sitter because her cat so sadly passed away totally naturally. It was a shock. And like we had the conversation of like, what do you think is better? Like that we know that Alfred's dying and like we can give him this relief, or is it the responsibility is also now on us of like, I think if he hadn't been so bad at the end, if we had done it sooner, I would have always wondered if I did it too soon.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think it's terrible either way, is what we came to. We were both like, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes and I don't want to be in your shoes kind of thing.
Yeah. I feel like the mourning process is different for,
Oh, yeah.
Because for Emma, I was really sad and like crying up until she died. And then after it happened, I felt a lot better. With Eugene, even though we were in the same like experience, it was the opposite. Like he was totally fine until right after it happened.
Yeah.
And then that's when he like broke down.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what's going to happen,
yeah,
then it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
Afterward, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before you can kind of mentally prepare.
Oh, yeah.
And know what it's going to be like. Yeah.
Yeah. We had many like little conversations with Alfred where we were like rubbed his little head and we were like, if you're ready to go, you can go. It's okay. Like giving him his little pets and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is one of those things that's like wrapping your head around it. Because right when you adopt an animal, they're like your little baby.
Yeah. You're like their whole world.
You're their whole world. And you're responsible for them, and they can't tell you what they need in that way. And
not yet, Becky.
Not
Maybe
yet.
someday.
One day.
Yes, communicating with animals.
One day we'll know.
Yeah.
But
do you think Alfred or Grandpa Barry would be good with the buttons? You know, the talking buttons you see on
like,
TikTok?
Buttons.
Yeah, the
So you want me to put a
buttons.
button on my cat? Oh yeah. What was that one dog who was? They always made the jokes about like him hitting the buttons of like help me,
Bunny.
Bunny.
Bunny. I feel like it was Bunny, like a really smart poodle mixed dog or whatever.
Yes.
Do you think your dog? I actually feel like Kimbap would be good at that.
I feel like Kimbap would be good at that. I don't think Grandpa Barry would be good at that.
Yeah.
Because I think he would just be like, eat, 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 eat. Actually, everyone in my house would hit that button. Keith, Henry, me. Our only needs, eat, eat, eat.
Because that's starting to communicate with animals, you know?
It is. I wonder how much, I'm not smart enough to understand the science of that. I want to talk to like a real scientist and be like, okay, how much of this is just like Pavlovian?
Yeah.
And how much of this is
because they know, she would know
dog.
like rain, when it's raining and stuff, she'll put like rain or like storm.
Honestly, that would scare me.
Yeah. Well, there were some where she would be like, where there'd be like person, house, like someone's in the house. You know, she'd say stuff like
I would.
So that would scare me.
Scream.
You know,
I would scream. I'm glad that Alfred and Emma are now hanging out together.
Like they used to.
Like they used to. I found a really cute picture of them, actually, I sent to Matt, where Emma used to go into like our bedroom if they ever brought the dogs over, and she would sit on the pillow and Alfred would sit like on the bed. So I have just a picture of them like sitting in the same room, just chilling.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's what they're doing. I know. Hopefully that's what they're doing now. Together.
Forever. Together.
Forever.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Matt, hit us with an audience question.
To finish out the day today, we have a question. This is actually from Reddit.
Okay.
I, 27-year-old male, planned a night out with my fiance, 20 female, and our friends, who are also in their late 20s, at a trendy restaurant near where we live. Back info, we are not dog people. I've had girlfriends and relationships with me over the fact that I don't want a dog. Or I've lost girlfriends and relationships over the fact that I don't want a dog. In the topic of pets, my current spouse is very compatible. They just aren't our thing, and our friends know this about us. Like, we don't like pets at all. A key part of this story, near every restaurant, a key part of this story is nearly every restaurant has patios that are dog friendly, while the indoors is not. It's nearly impossible to find a non-pet friendly place. Our friends, however, are now pet people. They got a dog during COVID. They become the people that take it everywhere with them. My fiance and I do hang out less with them because of it. We showed up about 10 minutes early to our reservation. I intended to eat indoors. Turned out our friends beat us there. we were led to the patio table and see they brought their dog.
Okay.
What would you do, Becky? What
That's
would you
the
do?
end of the Reddit question?
No, but I'm asking, what would you do? If you're not a dog person, you show up and your friends brought their dog.
Dogs are allowed to exist in the world, even if you don't want to personally live with one.
I get to the patio. I say, no, I'm not doing this. What are you thinking bringing that? My fiance and I went inside to see if they had any bar seats available. And my buddy chased us down, explains the dog sitter fell through and the dog will just lay there and not bother us. I don't care. I mentioned I'm not sure why they need a sitter for a dog. And we are not spending our meal with a dog. Told him it's fucked up and you sprung your dog on us. There were no bar seats, so my fiance and I decided to leave. My buddy said, I'm the asshole. I told him, I'm not spending time with your dog. We'll figure somewhere else to go. I got texts saying how fucked up what we did was. Am I the asshole here?
Yes. 100%. You're 100% an asshole. And I get why people break up with you. That's crazy. That is unhinged behavior.
Even if they really don't like dogs.
Who cares? I would get it if you were like, hey, I was mauled by a dog and it bit half my face off.
Right.
I really can't be around this.
Yeah.
I understand that conversation.
Yeah.
I don't like dogs, so I don't want a dog anywhere near me. I don't want a dog sitting at my feet. Is unhinged. I feel the same way. Kids and pets are allowed to exist in the world, regardless if you yourself want kids or pets or have kids or pets.
It's true.
They're allowed to exist.
Yeah. They're allowed to.
They're allowed to exist.
They do exist.
And like doing that to your friends told you they tried to get a sitter, which I don't know, maybe their dog's anxious.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 4th of July and there were going to be a lot of fireworks or something. Like, you can get a sitter for your dog.
Yeah.
Don't tell your friends how to spend their money. We're big boys and girls.
Yeah.
People can spend money on something you think is stupid.
It's their money.
It's their money.
It's their money. Yeah.
So I'm just like, why?
I mean, if he really didn't want to spend time with the dog, he should have told them, don't bring your dog. Right?
Yeah. Or just like, don't have friends with pets.
Yeah.
Find other animal haters such as yourself.
Yeah. I just can't believe that he would be like, you're the asshole for springing a dog on us. We're leaving. Talk to you never. Bye.
Yeah. I would not be his friend anymore.
Doesn't sound like he'd be a good friend to begin with.
No.
Yeah.
Especially like, over a dog. I don't get it if you're like, I don't like yappy little Yorkies. He's going to be barking the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay. Guess. It just seems like an overreaction to me. It seems like too much.
I think it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. But I'm also a dog person, so I'm like, bring all your dogs. Whenever I have friends over, they always bring their dogs and it's like, for 10 minutes, it's crazy. And then after that, it's totally fine for the rest of the night, you know? So.
I don't know. He's got some deeper trauma with dogs, I think, or pets. Like, I get that you don't want a pet. Like, you're not going to go to a restaurant where the dog's literally going to sit on the floor.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, too, to go to the bar and be like, okay, I'm sitting at the bar at the same restaurant. My friend is sitting outside. Like, I feel like it's weird.
So weird.
Yeah.
It's so strange. I love a surprise dog, to be honest.
Oh,
this
my
one
gosh.
time, let me tell you, it was the
dog.
best flight I've ever taken in my life.
Oh, on the plane?
Yes. We were going to New York. This was years ago. I mean, it had to have been when we still lived. Oh, no, maybe we lived in LA. Anywho, we sat next to this girl and she had 2 dogs. She had one under the seat and one in her lap. They were puppies.
Aww.
They were eensy little things.
Oh
and
my
like
gosh.
this dog was sniffing me. I was sitting in the middle. And so I was like, I would pet its little nose or like pet it a little. And then at one point she was like, hey, I hate to ask this and you can totally say no, but I have to run to the bathroom. Like, would you mind if I left my puppy here? Like, you can totally hold it too if you want. And I was like,
please.
yes.
So cute.
100% yes. I have pictures with
so
this
much.
dog still.
Oh.
That dog stayed on me the rest of the flight. She was like, I'm happy to take him back. And I was like, please leave me and my child alone. This dog is mine now.
Puppies are so cute.
It was so cute. And it was a cute puppy, like with the soft, like tan fur and the little face. And it just wanted to like lick and like lay. And
Oh my god.
I was like in heaven. Heaven.
I know.
I love it. I love a surprise animal.
I love puppies.
Yeah, I wouldn't be friends with someone who was like,
you're an asshole, buddy.
Yeah.
Next.
Go sit at the bar. Find a seat at the bar.
Yeah.
Not with us.
Not with us.
You can't sit with us, sir.
No. Not with that type of behaviors.
Not with that attitude. Not with that attitude. But guys, we've reached the end of this beautiful walk down memory lane / also kind of sad way we detailed our pets' deaths. But such is life.
Circle of life.
Circle of life. Circle of us. Our story.
Ours.
Our animal stories. Thank you for sitting with us this week. Until next time, make sure you're washing your hands, peeing after sex, being nice to people. If you're looking to get a new animal, please consider adopting over shopping. There are lots, especially in LA, there are tons of cats that have found their way into shelters. So get out there, adopt an animal. They're cute, they're sweet. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.